Welcome to the Friday at 4 podcast series with your host Charles Luttrell and co-host Steve Kent.
Steve, welcome back to Friday at 4. It looks like I made it back in the office.
Well, that's a good thing after last week with the car and the flat tire and all that stuff that you went through. I'm glad that you're back in one piece. So that's a good thing.
So last week was not a flat tire. Last week was the tensioner belt fully broke and it was hydraulic. So that was a big issue, right?
Okay.
Today is screwing a tire, flat tire day. Still haven't got it fixed yet. Still waiting to hear from about the tire.
So my expertise when it comes to a car, and this is serious, I push the button, the automatic door opens, I get in, I close the door, I turn the key, I start the car, put it into drive, and I go. I'm done.
Keep going.
I'm done.
Right.
And then at some point I hit the brake and I stop and I put it into park. That's it. I'm done. When it comes to anything other than that, other than putting gas in the car, I'm done. I know zero about a car. Zero.
Yeah. I know a lot about cars, and it's a good thing, but it's also a bad thing because I want to diagnose things and it keeps me on the road, but it's unfortunate. Today didn't really hamper me too bad. At least I made it home
Right.
and it'll be covered. So I'm not worried about it. I do have road hazard, so I'll be good,
Okay.
and it is what it is, right? Things happen,
Hmm.
So, yeah. So I wanted to, we talked about it earlier. I want to, mention about we talked about our format change a little bit here for Friday at 4 podcast series. I think I like what we do and what we're doing, and I want to take it to the next level with what we do, and kind of talk about a little bit about what we each do, how we help people, and with our businesses. What do you think?
I think it's a great idea. We're adding value, but I think we're now going to bring it down to hands-on experience as opposed to high-level talking. So I think it was a great idea.
Yeah, I love that we always pick a topic and we help people. We have great things to say, and obviously we always preface it with, look, this is just two guys chatting and having a good time and podcasting and interviewing and recording, having a good time with what we do, what we know. But now this is going to get into the meat and potatoes of what we do personally and professionally with each of our businesses, right?
Right.
I like this idea. I really do.
Yeah, so do I. So do I.
Yeah. So I'll get started, and I think I want to start with don't trust the hype. So I want to talk about that. I think it needs to be said more often, right? Because in today's digital world, a business can blow up overnight with viral videos, thousands of likes, and pages full of 5-star reviews, right? And don't get me wrong, visibility is powerful, right? It's great when small businesses get their moment in the spotlight. But here's the thing, man. Clout doesn't equal quality. Just because a place is trending on TikTok, racking up stars on Google, or getting nonstop mentions on Instagram, that doesn't always mean they're, actually delivering a great experience, especially when you walk through the front door, right? So that's why I don't just rely on noise. Obviously, I show up, spend my own time, my own money, and I experience it like any real customer would. I test the product, the service, the atmosphere, the details that people often overlook, right? Because we're just a customer.
Right.
And I tell the truth, not out of hate, not to tear someone down, but to hold the standard, right? Because here's what we forget. Virality can be bought. Reviews can be manipulated, photos can be edited, but customer experience, that's real, right? And that's what matters. You can't fake good service, and you can't Photoshop a friendly attitude or edit your way out of a cold, tasteless product, right? I mean, it's real, And in a world where anything and anyone can be an influencer, right? Anyone can be an influencer, It's easy to get caught up in the illusion of quality without actually checking if the place lives up to it, Some businesses, they look amazing on social media, but when you show up, the vibe's off, the staff doesn't care, the food's mediocre, the service is slow. And if you're someone who trusted the hype, spent your money, you brought your friends, you walked away disappointed, you know exactly what I'm talking about. We've all been there,
Yeah.
But this is why I do what I do, right? I created Chasing the Stars to cut through all that. I don't go in with a bias, right? I don't let the buzz cloud my judgment. I walk in like anybody else would, and I evaluate what's actually happening, not what's being advertised. It's a real world test, not a
Mhm.
highlight reel. And let me be clear, man, I want to love every place I visit. I really do. I want the underdog to win because I root for small businesses. I really do. But rooting for someone and holding them accountable, they're not opposites, right? You could do both, and I think I do it well. In fact, we should be doing both, right? Because that's how businesses grow. That's how the team, it's what's working and what's not working, right? That's how communities get stronger, right? By keeping it
No doubt.
honest.
Yep.
So when
Yep.
you see a place going viral or blowing up online, don't just assume it's the best out there, right? Take a break. Ask yourself, is it the hype or is it the experience, right? I mean, it's one or the other. Every review that I give is based on facts, what I actually see, taste, and feel, right? It's not
Mhm.
opinions, it's not hype, it's not trends, it's about performance. It's about showing up for your customer every time. And when a business nails it, I'm the first to shout it out, because when it falls short, I've got to say that too. Because if we don't tell the truth, the whole system breaks down. People waste money, businesses stop improving, and trust in real reviews disappears. It really does. So one thing that I want to remember is clout doesn't equal quality. And hype doesn't always reflect the truth, right? That's why I show up, test it, and tell it like it is.
I love that. And I'll give you an
Thanks.
example of why, from my perspective, what you're saying is 100% right on the mark. A couple of
Yeah.
years ago, I knew, and we've since parted ways for different reasons, but the guy had a really, really top-notch, fairly priced restaurant. The food was amazing, the service was amazing, and he was very successful. Well, all of a sudden he started getting these really bad reviews and his business dropped. And he went crazy because nothing changed. Good food, good service, good everything. Well, it turns out that those bad reviews were his two closest competitors.
Yeah. See?
So to your point, if you're
Yeah.
looking at the hype, you're looking at the reviews, but nobody's out there like Chuck going into saying, this is the truth, you're going
Yeah.
to believe the hype. You're going to stay away. And it almost drove him out of business until he
Yeah.
realized and did the research where it came from. And then he went and he sued the two other restaurants and they stopped. But
Yeah.
he lost the reputation for a while. He lost the income
Yeah.
because of the hype. So
Yep.
it's so critical for what you do.
Yeah. And here's what's cool. I talk about it in all my show and all my videos. I don't really push it enough. But I have what I call the RMS snapshot, which is my review management snapshot. And what I do is I take your competitors, right?
Mhm.
Compare you to your competitors. I take your Google, your Yelp, your Facebook numbers, put it all together, and I compare it to what you're doing. So you have
Got it.
your general benchmark of the top five in the area. Then you
Mhm.
have your numbers. Then you have your Google, Yelp, your Facebook, and I compare it to the benchmark of where you're at with the industry standard in your
Yeah.
area, right? Then on top of that, I take the reviews of a top one and a bottom one, and I'll put it in there and I share what they're saying good, what they're saying bad. So you can clearly see what is out there for your competitor, what's out there for you,
Mm.
and how you stand up against your competitors.
Wow. That is really cool. That
Yeah.
that's a great independent way to see where you stack up.
Yep.
I love that.
And a little tip on the Chasing the Stars, Tasted and Rated episode 8 that's going to release on July 31st. I'm putting that more into the video. So I'm using
Mm.
the numbers and you're going to be able to see where these places stacked up with each other. So I'm
Nice.
I'm excited to release this one. Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
Nice. Can't wait to see that. That'll be really cool.
Yeah. So
Dang.
I'm really getting creative. I'm trying different things, right? I want to work it different. I'm putting different things in the
Mhm.
show. So I want to keep it standard, but I'm making each episode a little bit different, adding and removing things that I like to do with it. So
I
yeah.
think it's a great service because we know the economy is not the greatest. We know this. I mean, let's be real. Forget what the government tells us. We know the economy is not the
Forget what
greatest.
TV's telling us,
But if
right?
people are going to go out and spend their hard-earned money, I believe, and I think you believe as well, people that they should have the best information so they can make an intelligent, informed decision. Do I go to restaurant A or restaurant B? If I'm going to go out, I want, I'm tired. I worked all week. I want the service. I want the good food. I don't want to have to send it back 3 times. I
Right.
want a clean plate, a clean table, a clean bathroom. I want clean.
Yeah.
I'm not asking for the Taj Mahal, but I don't
Right.
want dirt either. So if you
Yeah.
give me some basic stuff, and that's where you come up with those real reviews and real numbers, I think that's huge. So
Yeah.
kudos to you.
Thanks. And you nailed it, right? That's why I do this. I want to give you the truth because
Mhm.
there's no bias here. I go in undercover, I give you the truth of what's actually happening, right? And
Mhm.
there are times, and it's happened in this episode, that it wasn't a stellar visit. And I'm working on a really cool thing with this to talk to the business owners about to say, look, this is what happened, but to keep a positive spin on the negativity, I'm working on something really cool that I'm hoping to add into the next show.
Good.
We'll talk
Yeah,
about it
but don't give it
off.
away.
Yeah,
Don't
don't
give
give it
it
away.
away.
We'll talk
Don't give it.
about it once we're done
Yeah.
with this. But it's a really good idea that I think
Mhm.
it's going to help when I don't have a stellar
Good.
visit because it
Good.
happens, right? Nobody's
Mhm.
perfect, right?
Right.
And again, like I said, earlier, I'm not here to tear you down, break you down. I'm here to give you the truth and
Right.
help you be a better business. If I don't have a good experience, I'm not
Mhm.
going to Google, Yelp, and Facebook and screaming about you. Giving it to you, the business owner that says, hey, look,
Got it.
this is what happened to my experience. Let's make it better, right?
Right. And
Yeah.
from my perspective, and granted, I'm not the business owner, but from my perspective, if I was, I would welcome that to be better. First, for a couple of reasons. One is I want the people that see me every day to come in to have a better experience. But number two, your reviews, your videos, everything you do is starting to go out to more and more and more people. So if you want the exposure, do you want it to be good exposure or bad exposure? Choice is mine as the business owner. So if I was in the right frame of mind, I would say, thank you for telling me. I'm so involved in trying to build a business that I'm losing track of what's going on daily in the business. So thanks
Yeah.
for telling me. I'll make sure I fix it. And this way, what is publicized out is better.
Yeah. And the cool thing about that is, look, we're live here on TikTok as well.
Mm,
A lot of business owners are scared. They're afraid of hearing what I have to say about their business because they don't want to accept the fact that it wasn't perfect, you know?
correct.
And I've heard that many times, like, oh, I'll just stick my head in the sand and think everything's good. And it's okay. I've said that, and I've said that several times that
Mm,
business owners have said that to me. I'll just put my head in the sand. I don't really care what's happening. I'm making money. I'm good. But do you want to get better?
right,
The economy is not where it needs to be. People
right.
have choices. Do you want them to
Mm,
choose your restaurant where they're going to spend
right.
$100 or go to McDonald's and save $65?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good is good.
Yeah.
Good is good.
Yeah.
Better is better, if
Yeah.
that makes sense.
It
You
sure
could just
does.
be
And I know
good,
what
but
you're
you want
getting
to be
at.
better. You want that
Yeah.
edge up.
You want to constantly grow, constantly evolve,
Yep.
constantly get better. You should be constantly working
Right.
on how to
Right.
perfect your business, whether it's a
Yep.
restaurant, bar,
Hmm.
whatever it is. It doesn't matter the business.
Yeah.
I've got ways to keep you moving, you know?
Yeah. I went to a restaurant last night. I don't know if you know, every Thursday night with my kids, we go play trivia at a local place. Really nice, really friendly, good food. And we come in there last night and they revamped the menu.
Ooh,
So some things were the same, some things were different. But I tried one of the new dishes. It was a new burger type with different stuff on it. I got to tell you, that was out of this world.
wow.
So here's an example to your point. They were good, but they wanted to get better.
Yeah.
So the people were the same, the place was the same. It's still clean, it's neat, it's friendly, but they changed the menu.
And
And
think of
what
the
they
fear
did
with that,
not,
right?
I'm sorry?
And think of the fear with that, right? You could have saw
Right,
that and said, "I'm not eating this. I don't know what this is. The
right.
change is not good for me." Boom.
But they have the type, I shouldn't say the type, wrong word. They have the staff because they have a huge repeat business.
Mhm.
And I went in last night and we sat at the bar because we play, like I said, we play trivia. So we sit at the bar and I said to the bartender, new stuff. What do you recommend? And
Yeah,
he said to me, I've tried of all the new things. He goes, I've tried these four so far. This one, this burger is my favorite. Okay, so I'll try the burger because I trust him. It was so good.
amazing.
But again, change for the better. Yes, it's scary because it's the unknown. But if you want to get better, the people that come in will continue to come in. But they're
So
going to
true.
now talk to other people going, hey, check this out. They added these five, six, seven, eight things to the menu. They're amazing. You need to go in.
Yeah,
But they were
you
smart.
got
They
it.
took the leap, calculated, but they took the leap and it worked.
And it
So it
worked.
was great. Yeah.
Beautiful. That's a
Yeah.
great one.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
So what's
That's
happening in the financial world?
um so what I'd like to talk about this week is a little bit of budgeting and a little bit
Nice.
of debt management. Now, budgeting is this huge thing. Um, some people that are listening understand budgeting, so this could be a slight twist on it. People who are not familiar with budgeting, then it's something new for them. So I think everybody has an opportunity here.
Yeah.
So I'm going to throw out something that somebody on actually the person on my team that I report up to, well, I won't tell you what her name is because I don't want to get into this stuff. Um, but she has a term which I'm borrowing from her. Thank you. Um, and it's called money has a job.
Mm,
And what that means is when you get your net pay, whether you're an employee or the business owner, after deducting all expenses, all taxes, all everything, you get X dollars and it goes into your checking account. Now, that money that goes in, and it doesn't matter how much it is, the process is the same.
yeah.
The money has multiple jobs. Part of that money goes to pay the rent or mortgage. Part of that money goes to pay utilities, food, insurances, clothes, car payment, gas, on and on and on. So that money has multiple jobs. Now, again, doesn't matter how much, you have X dollars. Most of that has a job. But if there's that extra little piece, which I hope you all do have, right? But if there's that extra little piece that does not have a job, I call it unemployed. It's unemployed. And if it's not working at a job, it's going to go away and you don't know where it is. And that's where a lot of people come up short every month because they don't know where that excess is that should be there. And again, I'm not beating on anything or anybody. I'm just explaining the process according to Steve. Okay. So, one of the things we do with budgeting with people is we sit down, confidential, not recorded, complimentary, the whole bit, and we go through every line item. Where do you spend your money? What's the jobs that each of those things happen with that money? How much is the rent? How much is the mortgage? How much is the utilities and so on down the line? And then we'll sit there and say, okay, just to throw numbers out, let's say you get $1,000 net a month. I know that's unrealistic, but I'm just making an example. You have $1,000 net. If your expenses are $1,000, you should have zero at the end of the month. So the first thing is, can we turn things around so that you can reduce and make some of that money work for you? So, for example, and I'm picking on Starbucks, sorry, are you spending too much in Starbucks? Can you cut back 10%? Are you spending too much at the liquor store? Cut back 10%. Are you driving some fancy car? Can you drive a little bit less? Do you eat out every day of the month? Can you cut back 10% and eat home 3 days a month, 5 days a month? So we
Yeah.
look at line by line to find out if we can take any of that thousand and reallocate it to something else and give it a different job.
Nice.
Now, the different job we're looking to give it is phase two, because in that thousand, how much is going to the credit card? How much is going to the auto loan, the student loan, um, whatever else you're paying?
Yeah.
So if we can reallocate existing money, now we're going to help you manage your debt. Because once we help you now pay off that debt, so let's say of that 1,200 is debt of various types. Now we help you pay it off. Now at the end of the month, instead of having zero left, you have 200. And it's not going to happen overnight. This is not a get rich quick scheme.
Yeah.
The idea is every month, start with a little bit at a time. And the goal is change the mind. Got to
The
change the
mindset.
mindset.
Yeah.
So instead of going to Starbucks 3 times a day, go 3 times 5 days and 2 times 2 days. So now you're cutting out two, not a whole week, 2 days, go from 3 to 2. Then go 3 days from 3 to 2. Then go 4 days from 3. So one day at a time, 1 week at a time, you slowly change the mindset. And once you start to do that and reallocate the money to debt, all of a sudden you're going to start to say, wow, my balance was this high. Now it's coming down and down and down. And
Yeah.
as your balance comes down, you're also paying less interest.
Yeah.
So the balance comes down even faster.
Yeah.
And
I know
once,
we I know sort of cut you off. I know we talked about this before. What point is a reassessment? Is that like 6 months from when you start doing this? Should you reassess at 6 months of how things are going and progressing with your money? Or is that kind of like just figure it out as you're going along? Is there some process to it?
no, that's a very great question. So I'm going to answer it as a combination. Great, right? Good answer. Is it this or this
Thanks, Steve.
combination? Thanks, Stephen. Great help. Okay.
Right.
Um, but my logic says, let's set a 6 month target.
Gotcha.
And then every month, we're going to talk for 10 minutes. 10 minutes. This is where you were last month. This is where you wanted to be this month.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not looking at your numbers. This is an honest system or an honor system.
Yeah.
If you did cut it down from 3 to 2, like we said, Starbucks 3 to 2,
Right.
how much did you pay off in your credit card balance? How much did you pay off on your auto loan balance on something else? Again, honor system. I'm not looking at your numbers.
Yeah.
You see it 1 month, then you see it 2 months, then you see it 3 months. The goal is, yes, to hit that 6 month target. And it's we're not going to make you go from 0 to 100 miles an hour in 6 months. It's just not possible. But if we can bring you along slowly to get to that 6 month, mindset's changing, but it's also the accountability factor.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, myself included, when I had issues a bunch of years ago, I was in significantly in the hole. I'm talking like 6 figures in the hole credit card. Yeah, I was in deep trouble.
Yeah.
But somebody helped me and did the same thing. They were my accountability partner. And every month I had to report into them. And could I lie? Absolutely. But who am I lying to? Me. I'm
Yeah.
not lying to you, I'm
A
lying to
sense of life.
me.
Yeah.
And at some point down the road, it's going to come out that I messed up and I was a bullshit artist. Therefore, my accountability partner basically gives me two words: bye bye. And they're gone. Because if I can't do it for myself, why should they waste their time? And it's
Why do
true.
they stick around to help? Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
true.
I agree 100%.
Because for me to sit there, and I'm going to use you as the example, for me to sit there with you and go through this and help you 10 minutes every month for 6 months, I'm doing that because I believe in you. Am I making money by helping you for those 6 months? No, I am making zero. But the fact is, I believe in you. I want to help you get to that point because I want to help you that little bit at a time turn your life financially, turn your life around. Again, it's not a get rich quick scheme, but there
Yeah.
are so many people who need help and are afraid to ask for it. My number's on the screen. Call me. There's no charge. Zero.
Just like in your, just like we kind of work together with this because think about it. Both our businesses, people are afraid. They're
Mhm.
afraid to know the truth. They're afraid to know where their money's going. They're afraid to say, "Oh my God, I spend $500 a month on Starbucks. OMG."
Mhm.
They don't they don't want to make the change because, well, I need my Starbucks, right?
Yeah,
You have to want to do this. You have to want to make the change
correct.
to see you get forward and do better things. Just
Mhm.
like in my case with my business, helping business owners, you have to want to make the change. You have to accept the fact that this is scary and we have to do this to get forward, right?
So there has to come a point where the person says, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired of
Yeah,
being broke.
yeah,
I'm sick and tired of paying my credit card every month and still having the same outstanding balance. Last Friday night, actually, it was last Friday, right after we finished this call, I live in New York, for those who don't know, and I ran into Chinatown to meet a couple of friends that I've known for a bunch of years. And one of them had a very large student loan debt for years and years and years. And every month they were paying. After all those years, the balance on their student loan was the same. Every single thing they paid every month for years went all to interest. So now we're working on a plan to hopefully, because I sent it off to my business partner, we're working on a plan to help her make the same payment, but get out of debt
yeah,
completely out of debt, much faster in a way that will not impact the credit score. And
yeah,
that's a key. That's a key because there are companies out there that will say, oh, yeah, I'll work with you. I'll get your debt discharged. You'll be free and clear. What they kind of sort of forget to tell you is, yeah, they'll discharge the debt, but your credit rating just went in the toilet. Now you can't get another card. You can't get a loan. You can't do anything. And you're worse off because now you have no credit.
yeah,
So there are a lot of different things that we can do. A lot of people I'm partnered with, a lot of people I know that if I can't help you, other people can.
yeah,
But you got to take that first step and just have a 10, 15-minute phone call. Where are you? What are you trying to do? And let's work on options. Again,
yeah.
it's free, it's confidential, it's not recorded, it's just me and you.
Yeah. And I love the fact that, you put out there that you have a team. You're not just, blowing smoke out to say you're by yourself. You're just this phony guy that's trying to help you with your financials. You're actually really you're like me. you are really doing good, trying to help people
We are.
with their personal
Yep.
business. That's what
Yep.
you have to call it.
Yeah.
It's your business because you're spending money.
Right.
Again, it's your money has a job, and treat it like a job
Does.
and make it
Does.
right, fix
Yep.
it.
Yep.
Yeah.
My company, I mean, Steve Kent Financial Services, which we've said before, but I'm rolling up because I'm independent 1099. I roll up into Universal Wealth, which is what's on my background up in the banner behind my head. The Universal Wealth is over 3,000 people and growing. So if
Yes.
I can't help you, you can be pretty sure somebody in there can.
Yeah. Good stuff.
So, it's not where it's me or nobody. We have a whole
Yeah.
team with all kinds of experience in a whole host of areas. Give
Yeah.
us a shot. You never
Yeah.
know where it's going to go.
Yep. 516-727-2294. That is Steve's number. Reach out,
That
call,
is me.
text.
That is me. And Charles' number, 410-935-6132.
Yeah.
Yeah, let
Good
us hear
stuff.
from you. I mean,
Yeah.
again, to what Chuck said earlier, we're changing the format just a little bit to give you hands-on, real-life experience based on what we both do.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we know we're not even hoping. We know that as we go through this every week, addressing different topics, you're going to start getting more and more hands-on, real-life stuff that will help.
And I want people to know who are watching, live on TikTok or who watch this, once I post it and get everything edited
Hmm.
and put up, look, don't be afraid, let us help you. That's what we do. I'm not here to go outrage your business and tell the world that you suck and you're horrible.
Right.
I'm here to let you know that what I found was real. And let's tell the world that you were good, you were mediocre, and that we fixed it. We had ways to push you forward to make it right.
Right.
It's not about look, we know nobody's perfect, even with you, right?
Sure.
Nobody's perfect, you know,
Mhm.
but that's why we're here. We're here to push you forward, make you better, get you from a 500 credit score to a 750 credit score, get your
Yeah,
business from, $1,000 a week to $10,000 a week, and that we can do it, you know.
sure, we can.
Yeah,
But it's got to
yeah,
start with you making
yeah,
that phone call.
yeah. Absolutely. And I hope, people who are watching this really give me a chance at QACteam.com and look at my reviews and look at
Mm,
my show, look at my podcast, look at my Chasing the Stars, and really give me a chance to see what I do, see how I'm trending and getting better with what I do. And I really am here to help
yeah.
people and businesses on both sides because I want people to be able to know where they're going and to see what's happening out there versus the phony stuff you see on Google, Yelp, and Facebook,
Mm,
and I want business owners to really know they can trust me to say that, look, interview with me. Let's share your story. You got a good business.
mm.
Let's share the world what you have. Let's share the world who you are.
I think we should. You know,
Yeah.
we, we have to help each other to get better. And
Yeah.
this is the way to do it. So
Yep.
anybody that has a restaurant or owns a restaurant or somebody, you go to a restaurant, get in touch with Chuck. See if he can help you. Maybe do that independent review.
Yeah.
Help the business owner. Could be
Yep.
a local business in your neighborhood, could be wherever. But let them know. Give
Yeah.
it a shot. Be the
And
hero
if
that
you're,
helped the business survive.
yeah. And if you're looking for any kind of financial advice, Steve, man, you're the guy.
Mm,
I know you are, because you and I are going to start working together soon. I'm at that level now. I'm at that point now to where you and I are going to start
all right,
figuring this out, you know? Good stuff.
we can.
All right, man. Well,
Good
it's
stuff.
it's it's been another great, Friday at Four
Yeah,
podcast series, and
has.
I love what I do. And our famous closing
It's
4 o'clock
four,
podcast
it's
because
4 o'clock somewhere.
4 o'clock somewhere, man. I love it. I love it.
So do I.
Hey,
Great stuff.
look, man, it's a pleasure to do this every week with you. I'm really thankful that you take the time to
Yeah.
record with me and tell our audience and anybody who watches or even listens, through Spotify
Hmm.
or Amazon or iHeartRadio or YouTube, wherever they're looking and watching, and
Hmm.
even on, live on TikTok, to really give us a chance and really look at what we do,
Hmm.
because we come from the heart. We are serious people. We take our businesses serious, and we also have fun.
Well, gotta have fun somehow.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Yeah. All right, Steve, man. Thanks a lot
very
again
good.
for coming on. Appreciate
My
it.
pleasure. Thank
Another
you
great
for hosting
episode.
this.
Yeah, man, absolutely. And again, I apologize for last week. I think it still went pretty smooth. I
No,
think we
don't worry
made it.
about it. Things happen. The
It
world
was
does
fun.
not.
I'm sitting on the side of the
Um,
road.
things happen. You know what? The
Yeah,
My main concern when you weren't on at 4 o'clock was that you were okay.
I
I don't.
appreciate that.
The show is fine. The show is fine. But I'm
Yeah,
more concerned about you. That's the kind of people the two of us are. We care more about people. The rest of the stuff can wait, but it's the people behind it that really make the difference.
yeah. Because I'm always there. I'm always here.
Right.
It's like clockwork, man. And when something is
Yep.
weird like that, let's figure this out.
Yep.
Something's going on.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right,
Well,
Steve.
sounds
In
good.
closing, have a great weekend. Have a
You
great
too.
evening. And our
Thanks, Ken.
audience, everybody, have a great weekend.
You
Hope
got
you
it.
enjoy this episode, man. And we'll talk soon, buddy.
You got it. Thanks. Take care,
You
Chuck.
got it. Take care,
Bye-bye.
man.
Take care.
You've been watching the Friday at 4 podcast series with your host Charles Luttrell and co-host Steve Kent. Thanks for watching.